Want to learn how to get a girlfriend, long-term relationship, or companion in 2023? Stick around. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. First off, forget all of those influencers who tell you you have to be this high-value man to find a girlfriend. You do not have to be a high-value man. You also don't have to learn how to become an alpha male, okay? Growing as a man involves working on yourself every single day. And perhaps, maybe you're being too nice to women. You can work that out, not a problem, but you do not have to change exactly who you are. The PUA industry, new dating coaches are going to tell you all this stuff about becoming like an alpha male. Do not buy into it. What you need to do is work smarter, not harder. And here's how you do it. So first things first, I want you to analyze your 2022 results or your previous year's efforts. So take out a Google Drive spreadsheet and spend 20 minutes just really deciphering the results, right? Like, what methods did you use to secure dates? What apps did you use, for example, right? How many minutes per day you've used the apps? About how many matches did you get per day or per week, right? Did you ask any friends to set you up, right, on dates? Did that work? Did you try any in-person events like speed dating or going to bars to meet women, etc., right? Did you try a matchmaking service? Like, did you try a dating coaching service? So what I want you to do is figure out how everything worked for you. Did the speed dating work, right? Once you're done writing down all of these methods that you've used in 2022, I want you to then write down all the dates that you went on by month. So let's say you're watching this video when it publishes. So in January 22, how many dates did you go on? February 22, how many dates did you go on, right? Tally it up. Maybe you went on 20 dates last year. Then what I want you to do is figure out how many of those girls you were excited about. Okay. So if it was 4 out of 20, for example, right, that's a pretty low conversion rate to date per woman that you're excited about. So very important if you're going to move forward in 2023 and beyond. Whenever you're watching this video, we need to know exactly how you did last year so we can improve and move forward. Okay, now that you have your list of what you did last year, what I want you to do is figure out the 5 or 10 things that you're going to do differently this year, 2023. So the definition of insanity, guys, is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and getting the same results. So in order for you to find a girlfriend, a long-term relationship, a companion, we got to do things differently, right? What apps were you on, for example? Was it Match, right? Maybe it's time to try a new app, right? Because Match hasn't been working for years, right? What's your first message? Maybe the first message needs to be tweaked. Okay, so I want you to write down next on this, the second tab of this spreadsheet, 5 or 10 things that you are going to do differently in 2023 so you don't get the same result in 2022. Next, what you could do is to build your confidence, right? So for me, what I do to build confidence is I exercise every single day. Exercise releases dopamine, which is that chemical in the brain that has that feel-good energy. Every time I exercise, in fact, I just did, I always feel 20 times better and everybody wants to be around me. So what is it that you can do, right? Third tab of this spreadsheet to build your confidence, okay? Is it joining a men's group? Is it exercising? Is it spending more time with friends? Whatever it is, I want you to write it down. There could be 2, 3, or 4 things. It's really important that you have high confidence if you're going to find a girlfriend or get in a long-term relationship this year. After confidence, fellas, comes mindset. So if you're looking to find a girlfriend this year or a long-term partner, no doubt that you got to have like the top of the line mindset. So how can you develop an irresistible mindset so that when rejection arises, you remain totally unaffected? That's the key. So for me, it's about repetition and community. When I was single, I made it a goal every single week to talk to 10 new women. That's 40 women a month, right? So whether it was at an in-person event or it was online, like I found that eventually when you do the numbers, it's going to snowball. So when one of the women, right, when they snub you or reject you, you don't feel that bad because guess what? Your funnel is full and you have tons of women that want to hang out with you. So also having a strong community, I found, of like-minded people is huge when you're a single man. When I was single, I found that eventually all of my single friends kind of tapered away. They got in relationships, and I still hear that all the time over at emlovz. So, a couple of years later, they were wifed up at the end, right? Like when I was single at the end of my single journey, I was all alone, man. So, as you know, I'm a co-founder of emlovz, head male coach, and we help men get into long-term relationships. And I hear it all the time. Like they don't have any friends, nobody to talk to dating with. So we built a super dope community of all single men looking for long-term relationships. Not only do they hang out online in our private student community, but they actually go out in real life. I just heard from one of the students the other day that they went out and went shopping together for some clothes right before, a couple of dates that they had. So having a community, super important. Next item, fellas, if you're looking to find a girlfriend, life partner, wife, whatever, you need to eliminate any and all dating blind spots, okay? We can't fix things we can't see, period, end of story. Let me give you a personal example. Just the other day, actually last week, I went bowling with a friend. I suck at bowling. Like, I'm one of the worst bowlers you've ever seen in your life. So I think I shot a 106 or something like that on the first game. My buddy and his son, they're really, really good. They shoot in the 200s. And he saw my blind spot and he said, "Hey, why are you lining up in the center? Move over to board 32 to 34 and throw the ball because your angle's moving that way on your ball." I made that one shift and I hit, I think 140, 145, 2 games in a row. So it's things like this in dating, fellas, that might be holding you back from reaching your goals. Maybe it's your date conversation skills, right? And what we do to solve that in our coaching program are mock dates, where you get a report card after the date. Audrey, Kat, or Brookie, they'll tell you what they really like. They'll also tell you what they think you could improve on, right? So when you go out in the real life and you go on a date, you're fully prepared. That blind spot's eliminated. So gotta blast the blind spots. So in your spreadsheet, write down like 2 or 3 things. Like maybe it's you're not getting to second dates. Okay. And here's a video up here you can check out. But maybe it's something you're doing on a first date that you don't know about. Right. So if you're interested, we got a dope coaching program. Check it out in the description. And we also have a free masterclass you could take a look at too for some free tips. Next thing, fellas, is always have systems in place. Have you ever seen Bar Rescue, hosted by John Taffer? It's a show where he comes in, he's a bar consultant. He comes in and he fixes the broken bar. He looks for weaknesses. He looks for things that are broken and he optimizes everything, right? He creates systems and processes. Same thing you got to do with your dating life, right? How many messages and prompt responses do you want to send every single day, right? How many in-person events do you want to go to every single week? How many conversations with women do you want to have both online and offline every single week? Hell, write down how many times you want to get rejected. Like, I love getting rejected. At the end of my experiment, man, once or twice a month, I just loved it. So when you write everything down and you quantify it, you're going to expect a certain amount of results. You're going to track it. And it's going to alleviate that anxiety. So many people, they don't like dating. There's so much anxiety around it. But if you create processes and systems, I'm telling you right now, you're going to succeed. Lastly, certainly not least, don't take advice from people who don't have what you want. So if you're looking for a relationship, don't ask your single friend who's been single for 7 years how he manages women. He's not going to give you the best advice. Okay. So in summary, I hope this video was helpful, but bust out that spreadsheet, write down everything that you've done, all the methods, all the dates, all the numbers, right? And then figure out the 5 or 10 things that you're going to do differently next year or the next 12 months to really get you to your goal of getting a girlfriend, right? Work on your confidence, work on your mindset. If coaching in a community is what you need, check us out over at emlovz.com/book. If you're interested just to check out who we are, we have a program overview. We have a masterclass in the description below. It's totally free. Check it out below.